Hi, this is Ernie again. I'm that guy who had $6 in his checking account to now having millions of dollars. I just did a video on how to sell Cure ETF put options and buy pill shares so that you'll be able to start shifting your portfolio into something that's recession proof. This is going to be slightly different. I have been doing the same thing, right? I sell put options of QBTS, which is a quantum computing company. I think it's the second best company out there. It's debatable because a lot of the companies don't want to buy number one player. So to me, that is how I'm going to potentially get an M&A benefit by start accumulating for second best player, which I believe is QBTS. And I now have, I don't know how many shares, like hundreds or thousands of shares available at the moment to benefit from it. But given how much emphasis there has been on quantum computing and how this is going to be the next thing after AI, I want to get there early. And I'm going to use the same tactic that I use. Again, how do you make money for free? Selling put options. Of course, you need cash as a collateral. And then use that money to buy shares pretty much for free so that you can start accumulating. This is not to accumulate it hundreds of thousands of shares immediately. It's like a marathon. You're going to do it slow. And then once you have enough shares, then you can sell call options so that you'll be able to benefit from both. But given that quantum can take off at any moment, I'm only going to rely on put options to do this. Let me show you step by step how you do this. One, to make money for free, to make money using cash as a collateral. It's like you have money in your checking account or savings account, except they only give you 2%, 3% a year. This will give you 1% a week. Yeah, that's the type of a return you can get. But rather than just holding onto cash, that 1% a week that I'm making, I'm going to buy shares so that it will grow for me. So let's go to the screen. I'll explain to you exactly what it is and how to do it. This is IonQ, one of the better known quantum computing company. And as you can see, it did not do well. It was hovering around $5. And then there was a little bit of a boost in share price, came back down, and then it skyrocketed to 50, came back down to 15, and now it's hovering around $40. It is very elevated, but I think it's because I think a lot of people are now seeing a commercial viability of this company. So let's go to this part. There's a lot of consolidation happening at the moment. And as you can see, there's a double bottom forming. And double bottom usually tells you that it's a bullish signal that it could potentially go even higher. This is precisely another reason why I'm trying to get in right now rather than earlier when there was not clear sign or pattern that shows that it's going to have a bull run. So what do? Let's go to 16 strike prices. Expiration, it shows 60 days. I'm not looking at 60-day expiration. It clearly shows that it's going to expire in 3 days. I'm always looking for 1% return. I've done this through A/B testing before, and it gives me the best return possible. So in order to get 1%, meaning right now it's trading at $42. So I want something that gives me about 42 cents, maybe 43 cents. And it is going to be a strike price 40, right? So between $42 bid and $46 ask. So I should be able to get about 43, maybe 44 cents. So this is the price that I'm going to target, strike price 40. And I'm going to sell 10 contracts. In order to do this, you need to have about $40,000 in cash. Otherwise, it is just naked put which I do not recommend. So that's what I'm doing, and mid price is about 45 cents. So I could technically get about 45 cents. So that's going to give me about $450 in profit. In my previous video, you saw what I did with Cure. So Cure puts, and then use that money to buy 195 shares of pill. I'm doing the same thing, except I'm going to buy IonQ shares. So sold 10 contracts at $45, commission $3.14. Again, I negotiated this from 65 cents to 30 cents. So this is the power of negotiating. And then I got $446.86. I'm going to click buy. I'm going to do market simply because I don't want to wait and see whether the transaction went through. Especially with buying stocks, I don't really care as much, but options I do. I made 446. So I'm just going to I'll just buy 10 shares. Now you see the order, buy 10, IonQ, $42.51. Of course, no commission. And I ended up pocketing about $19 and change in cash. Let me tell you before you go and try to replicate this. IonQ could drop at any moment. Any bad news, it could drop 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%. Which means you might be on the hook to buy them at, what was the price? $40, and it might go down to like 30 and $10 per share. 1,000 shares, that's $10,000 you could potentially lose. I'm okay with that because I believe in quantum computing and I plan on holding this for a long time. And you could use video part 15 of leveraging options. Even if the price goes down, you could always find ways to be in a better financial position down the road. But if you do not know how to do that, this might not be something that you want to replicate. Because, again, stocks like this, it could go down 20, 40, even 50% overnight with one bad news. So, as I mentioned to many people, 80% of my money is in ETFs. Safe, relatively safe, or extremely safe. 15% of my money, this is what I do. And then 5% I always hold on to cash. So that when we have a massive sales like the Liberation Day, I can go shopping and benefit from it. I know you will have a lot of questions. Please ask me through comments since I'm still behind with direct messages. But if you send me messages or if you comment, I'll respond to you within 24 hours. And for those who are interested in learning about not just technical analysis as well as options, there are 2 books. You guys probably have seen this many times, how to turn every Friday into payday using weekly options. So this is what I do most of the times, actually almost every single week, most of the times. I do this to make money with whatever holdings I have. For technical analysis, this is the gold standard. Anybody and everybody who learn technical analysis study from this. It's an extremely thick book. Your library probably has a copy of it. There's a huge weight in my local library, but it's definitely worth learning. And if you look at some of the pages, like charts showing, like graphs showing exactly how you read. Like look at the patterns that you see. Almost identical to what I do because I learned from this as well. Just like every single technical trader that shows graphs and charting on CNBC, this is what they study with. So if you want to do charting, I'll put this in the link so that you'll be able to get a copy and put it in the showcase as well. But these are really worth learning if you want to rely on investing to generate weekly income, to buy more shares, or just to pay bills like I do. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this was useful, and I will see you guys soon.